Ah!
Dad.
What's on your shirt?
That's a big one, right?
Your dad is what?
That's a big one.
Unbeatable!
So if you're new here, my name's Drew, and I live in this tiny house you see behind me with my wife and daughter. And you might be wondering, a tiny house during a pandemic, during a nationwide lockdown, how does that work? Well, in this video we're going to talk about that. What do you think about living in a tiny house?
I
You don't know? Sometimes for privacy, I need to run inside the house when everybody's outside. Sometimes I have to come up into the loft and hide up here while craziness is going on downstairs. Sometimes I have to hide in the car to get some peace and quiet and escape Daniel Tiger or Elsa. Sometimes being stuck in a tiny house looks a little something horrifying like this.
It's okay.
Now to be fair, that's not exactly what it looks like. That's just what it looks like every single day when someone is told it's nap time. But you know what? The truth is, it's not easy living in a tiny house, especially right now. And I don't expect anyone to feel sorry for us. We made the decision to live in a tiny house, and we did that with the intention of eventually paying off our debt and being debt-free so we could do more of the things we want to do. But when we made those decisions, it never, came across our minds that we might be forced to stay in our homes for weeks or months on end. In my opinion, living in a tiny house is always the most challenging during winter because you are really trapped in a small space when that weather's really cold. And this year we just make it past winter. And of course this pandemic comes along and makes us forced to stay in our homes a little bit longer. What the hell? But in reality, it's not so bad. We've been trying to make our best of the situation, and our days have kind of looked like this. The way I see it, you can either spend your days inside watching horrific news reports, or just go outside and do something fun.
This. All right. Ready? Hold it tight. And we're gonna wait for a big wind.
Did you do that? Is it fun? Just because we have to avoid public places doesn't mean we can't go outside and enjoy some nice weather, and we've been doing a lot of that. So really, what we've been doing lately isn't too much different than usual, because as Lucy likes to say,
Lucy, is this our tiny house?
Yeah. Oh.
What?
and she's not wrong. And I guess it's not the worst time to be stuck in a bubble. And we have been blowing a lot of bubbles to pass the time.
That's a papa. Pop. 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 Pop.
But what has been different is developing a new routine in this new normal. This is Stephanie's new normal. Instead of being in a classroom surrounded by students teaching, she's doing Zoom calls with her coworkers while Lucy pokes her head in and slides down her legs like she's at the playground.
I'm grateful to have the garden and greenhouse to keep me busy. I spend a lot of time out there watering and starting new seeds and transplanting things and staying on top of all of that. And if I didn't have the garden, I'd probably lose my mind. The funny thing is, I didn't start this garden because of the pandemic. I was already buying seeds for myself back in December around Christmas time. I just wanted a big garden this year, and looking back, I'm very happy I did that. Good job. You ran out?
I'm just sad.
Where are we going?
Big rock.
On a big walk.
A big walk? You want me to come?
Yeah.
Like I mentioned before, the whole point of living in a tiny house for us was to live cheaply, for one, and to spend more time outside. And well, maybe we can't go to a crowded place, but we can still do something outside and get sunshine. So we've been doing a lot of that, going to nearby trails and getting exercise, while trying to pretend as best we can that everything is normal.
The bridge, yeah.
There's
water down there?
Whoa.
Lucy is starting to develop her emotions, and we're really starting to see her have those real feelings right now. And what she wants to do most is see her friends and interact with other kids. But when we pass other kids on our walks, she just stops and stares and wants to make friends so badly and do things like go to the playground. But we can't let her right now, and it really sucks. And it's been making her very sad. And I just don't know what to do for her. And I don't like this feeling of being helpless as a father.
You're killing your friends. Do you pop your friends?
Let's pop.
So we did the next best thing, and we put up a swing for her on our property so that she can do that whenever she wants. On the bright side, she has made friends with the neighborhood bunnies, and we talk to them and chase them all the time, which is very fun for her. Where'd it go? What? You think it's going potty?
Go potty.
Are you sad?
Yes, it's sad, bunny.
We've been doing a lot more laundry than usual. We don't have a typical washer. We did have a washer-dryer combo for a while, but we hated it and sold it. We usually make an excuse to go see our parents every week or two to do our laundry, but we haven't been able to do that lately, so we're using our little off-grid laundry machine. It's not so bad, it just takes a long time to get clothes dried hanging on the line. And it takes longer to wash them because you can only do so little at a time. But they smell really good when they're all done and clean. Other than that, we've been cooking a little bit more than usual, which is kind of fun, but of course the kitchen is always left a mess. The weird thing about this whole social distancing thing, to be brutally honest, is this kind of isolated existence is how I've felt for a very long time. But now it seems like everyone else is sharing in those same struggles together, many of them for the first time. And I actually feel very bad for many who are not so used to living in an isolated existence like this. It can be hard to get used to when you're so used to being surrounded by others. It can seem like the end of the world. But you can also use this moment to strengthen yourself. When I traveled solo to Mexico for a few months 7 years ago, an experience I wrote about on our blog, which I'll post in the details below, it helped me become stronger than I ever was when I was mentally at my weakest that I can ever remember. So take this moment as an opportunity to challenge yourself and see how strong you are. I hope everyone is staying safe and taking actions to take care of themselves and their families. Now that's going to be it for this video, but stay tuned for more coming up. We've been working on a new video, well, Stephanie has, full of activities you can do with young children while they're home from school during this pandemic. And subscribe to our channel! And hit the like button!
She just hit the like button on her.
Now tell them to give hit the thumbs up. There you go. And say bye. Okay.